I am not even mad at this movie. Hey everyone, my name is Max Aaron James. This is a review of the movie On a Wing and a Prayer, written by Brian Edgiston, directed by Sean McNamara, stars Dennis Quaid, Heather Graham, and Jesse Metcalfe. It is based on a true story about Doug White, who had to take the helms as the pilot, sit in the pilot's chair, pilot a aircraft with very minimal to no experience on the specific plane after a pilot unexpectedly dies. This movie is streaming on Amazon Prime Video soon, and I feel that is a good place for this film. This movie feels like a television movie, feels like a movie that would be very successful with a specific demographic, particularly conservatives and religious folks. And overall, I would say it even feels like a daytime movie to watch on television. If I was still in middle school or high school and I was sick or there was a snow day, I grew up in Illinois, then this would be the movie that would come on television when I had nothing to do except sit around at home. And I would end up watching it all the way through, and I would have a relatively pleasant experience watching this. I know that seems a bit specific, but that is the feeling I got from this movie, and I am happy with that. This movie even presents that same feel of films that came out when I was in high school, early high school, or middle school, which is early 2000s feel. There are cliche choices made, very weak dialogue, and decent acting, specifically with supporting actors, but I think that helped with the lead actors to shine a bit more, which again, I have no issue with that. There is weak dialogue that does make some moments in this film feel a bit draggy, especially in the beginning, and it felt a bit pushy with the message it was trying to get across, especially in the beginning of the movie. And that message kind of fades a little bit in the middle, but slowly comes back in a good balanced way by the end of the film. There are some moments amongst the family on the plane that do come across a bit awkward. Not just me watching it, but I felt that maybe it was a bit awkward filming it. And one could argue that that is realistic and that is how families are, especially with teenagers having or feeling forced to speak to their parents. I've done it and just I do not feel like talking, and then you have these adults that try to push these conversations onto you, so then it gets quiet amongst yourselves and it's just awkward. But it felt unnecessary and felt it was just padding on to the runtime amongst a few other things. When everything does start to happen, the pilot passes and Doug White has to take charge and fly the plane. Things do start to get interesting. The suspense builds, and they do well with directing to get things going and moving from character to character to get this plane landed safely. There was a montage in this movie that, based on what was going on and what was accomplished or done, at least an hour had passed. And I would say an hour and a half to 2 hours would have passed based on what was accomplished or what was put together. But I do not believe that that was the amount. They had that much time to get this plane landed, right? And it did not feel that that much time really did pass during that moment. Or at least it did not feel believable if this were something that actually happened. I do not think that they would take the time to get these things done that were shown to have gotten done. I was not interested in any side plots or side stories, and there were a couple scenes taken on a bar that did not contribute to the narrative, and I did not care for that character anymore even being given that scene. I did not feel bad for him or feel good for him at the end. It was just a whatever moment, and again, those I feel that just padded on for runtime for the sake of making it a movie or a feature-length film. Overall, this was a pleasant surprise to watch it at home, and I think this is a good at-home television movie, and I'm not mad at it. I would love to know what you all think about this movie. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, y'all take care of each other, check up on one another, check up on yourself, and remember, potential has no limit.